with Sakari. What is going on, Tara?
Zakari, it's so good to see you again. Oh my God. It's like in
I
person, but
feel like
not in
it's
person.
right. I feel like it's been forever.
It's been
But
almost a
I'm
year.
so excited to see it. Almost a wow.
Oh, can
Time
you, right?
flies.
It's almost
Yeah,
November, and we filmed what, January?
something like that. Yeah, yeah. Wow. Well, I want to say thank you so much for being on the show. This is Sipping with Sakari. Are you sipping on anything? Are you drinking any
Oh,
water or something?
you
What
told
you
me I
drinking?
have to sip. So what do I
Let's
always,
go.
I always sip on wine. Come on, it's 5 o'clock, right?
Somewhere exactly, or
I'll take a
even
sip.
here.
Mm.
Amazing. I'm drinking some De Leon tequila orange juice.
Ooh,
Um,
yum. I mean, I got
it's
to
my
be a
birthday
parent, so I got to
tomorrow.
keep the wine. Oh, it is?
You gotta, yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow, so I'm drinking a little early.
So 29, 30.
28. I'm a baby.
8.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Yay.
yeah.
Well,
Come on.
cheers to your birthday.
Cheers. Thank you so much. Cheers. Cheers for us.
Hmm.
And this crazy accomplishment on Hell's Kitchen. Obviously you're a contestant on this season of Hell's Kitchen, season 21. And before we even jump into that, I
21.
really want to hear, which is yeah, crazy. I really want to hear about, your upbringing, your childhood, like what was like little Tara doing in the kitchen? Were you baking cookies? Like what were you up to?
Oh my God. Okay, so I have a crazy story. I mean, which probably nobody really knows because I didn't really divulge into who I was that much because, you know. So I was brought up divorced family. My next door neighbors had a 7-acre farm in Bergen
Okay.
County, New Jersey. So like unheard of. We had 7 acres. We had chickens. I grew up with everything grown, homegrown in my house. So my mother
Wow.
could not cook. I mean, horrible cook, burnt everything, was disgusting. So I grew up eating absolute crap, minus the fresh vegetables. My dad's side, amazing Italian cooks. My grandmother would have a big Sunday dinners. My stepmother was 100% Italian. So amazing food on that end. So I mean, I started, cooking with my grandma in the kitchen. I remember peeling off my fingernail and it went in the salad. And I was like, oh, don't eat that salad. um,
Wow.
so yeah, but I mean, yeah, food was not really a big thing because my mom couldn't cook. And we literally
Right.
ate packaged food growing up. I mean, it was disgusting. So
Wow.
once, but minus the fresh food, so that like saved me. But I
Hmm.
mean, I would eat the chickens we were playing with. I'd be like, "Where'd my chicken go?" And she's like, "That was in the soup yesterday." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
What? Did you feel bad? Like were you not like
You
because like I
know,
feel like as a little kid, you didn't
I didn't, and I've been teaching my daughter the same thing. Like, this is
okay.
where does that beef come from? That comes from that brown cow. That comes from the black cow. That's your chicken. After it stops producing eggs, we're gonna eat it. So, I wasn't weirded out. Maybe I was a kid. I don't remember, but I liked playing with them.
That's amazing. Even
So
even now, I mean, you were known as like the motherly figure on the show, and you just hearing that, speaking about how you're teaching your kids about like, where everything is coming from. It's so important. So it
it
definitely
is.
is
I
crazy to
mean,
hear.
that's a big part of what I want to do, and hopefully I can get a grant, is that I want to teach all these kids because they're being raised on McDonald's and, processed food
Yep.
when it's actually cheaper to
Yep.
make your food and grow your food. So that's a big thing that I'm hoping ever to get in the future
Yep.
is to get a grant, teach kids. And I mean, it's such a passion of mine is to have the younger generation come up and understand more about food because obesity is ridiculous and
Man,
it's so much easier to grow a piece of lettuce
it's
or tomato than go buy McDonald's every single
yeah,
day. So
yeah.
I mean, you know,
That's that's part of my mission, like coming from my culture, you know what I mean? My father had diabetes, my grandfather has diabetes, you know what I mean? And just such a huge percentage of African Americans just like die of heart disease. And it's the food that we're putting inside our body. And we think that like Happy Meals and things like that are like going to be okay as a kid. And that's what we're used to. But we got to just educate kids on the importance of just eating healthy and whole foods, knowing where your food comes from. It's a
exactly.
super passion of mine. So it's definitely refreshing to hear that. So how did you go from, go ahead?
No, no, I was saying, stay with my family. We have diabetes all over the Italian culture. So my whole
Wow.
family, they're all diabetics. My grandfather lived to
Wow.
94, but he had diabetes
Wow.
for 40 years. You know, my brother has diabetes. He got diagnosed
Wow.
at 30.
Wow.
So same, you know, it's all about teaching those
Crazy.
whole foods, getting rid of the white grains and just, yeah, same.
Wow. It's crazy. So how did you go from, eating processed foods, obviously some fresh foods, to wanting to be like a badass chef in the kitchen?
Oh God, that was a long journey, Sakari. Do we have time for that?
What was the pivot? What was the point? You like love food, and then did you just wake up one day and said, "I'm gonna try cooking"?
No.
Because
So,
you're pretty good.
oh, thank you. I mean, you're really
You're
good,
pretty.
but I think, you know,
No, you're really good too.
I'm pretty good for only
So
being in this for less than 12 years. So, you know, I
wow.
switched careers at 30. Um, you know, I started taking foods class in high school just like everybody else. And everybody's like, oh, what do you want to learn? I'm like, I want to learn chicken cacciatore. They're like, that's not easy. I'm like, I don't want easy. I want to learn my Italian food. College, I would have dinner parties every single Friday. You know, I would get different cookbooks and just research and read. And I loved food because for me, food is happiness through the table. Like that's what Italian culture is. You know, you sit around a table, you guys can hate each other, but around that table, you're going to love each other. You're going to drink wine. You're going to break bread, and you're going to have conversations, and then you'll go back to hating each other. Um, it's true. It's so true. Like, believe me, if you came to my family, you'd be like, you guys don't like each other, but at that dinner, we love each other. um, but no, car accident, that's what changed my life. You know, I was wrapped around a tree. I had a major brain injury, and I couldn't remember anything except how to cook. Honestly, I had to learn how to run again.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't remember half the words. I couldn't remember how to sew. That's what I went to school for. Had no idea. So being in the kitchen kind of made my brain function again because it was using math, it was using measurements, you know, it was how does this flavor go together? You know, how do I design this plate? And it made me feel so amazing. And everybody in my family was like, you need to be a chef. I'm like, come on, it's just a hobby. Like, it's nothing. And I did it. I went to my first position as a sous chef and it just took off. Like, it was a complete not thing I was thinking about in my life at all. Like, and it was never in my brain that let's cook for a living. It just,
Right.
but it was meant to be
It
there. You
just
know, I
happened.
think it was instilled in my body, like between my grandma, my
Yeah.
godparents. I think not having that as food as a kid really makes me want to have it better now and like really produce amazing food for
Wow.
people. You know, I think that's what it was.
And make that change. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And like to hear, because I know your story, but like for everyone that's listening, like to hear that story as far as like to go through something like a huge accident and then you decide to just go for something and be a badass at it too with that. You know what I mean? And like it's
Yeah.
and at a midway point in your life, like 30. So kudos to you, like
Thank
flowers to you. Like
you.
that's not easy. No,
It
for
was
sure. Like
hard. I mean,
that's not
starting
easy.
in the kitchen where everybody's 18, 20, you know, they all went to school or they're the younger generation like
Right.
you. And I'm like trying to learn from them, but also be their boss because you know,
Right.
it was a difficult transition. I definitely did not have the easiest upbringing in the kitchen. I have to say that. I was definitely diminished as a female chef and, you know, I don't want to work with you. I'm not going to listen to you. Who are you to tell me what to do? But overcame it, you know, just like everything else in life, you just got to keep focusing. So, you know, focus, you just keep striving. And if this is what you want, you go get it. Like, don't let anything, you know, get in your way. Don't let anything hold you back. Just keep going, you know? I mean,
That's
it's
true.
so true. You know, it's just those words just really mean everything. I mean, you
It's
are such a go-getter. I mean, I can't believe how much you've accomplished in your 28 almost years. It's sick. You have
almost
an
20.
amazing story. I mean, you are such an
I
inspiration, I
appreciate
think,
that.
to older generation chefs and younger. So it was, and I'm so happy
That
to have
means a
met
lot.
you because
Oh, I'm so happy to met you too,
you
Tara. I think
pushed
you're
me
incredible.
further. Definitely.
Likewise, you pushed me, and to see like, your leadership roles in the kitchen, your motherly figure, it just really stood out to me. I just want to know, like, where does your leadership skills come from? Is it from being a mother? Is it from working in different kitchens? Is it from like the passion that you find in cooking? Like, where does that come from?
Honestly, I've had to lead myself in everything. Like, I mean, my mom worked 3 jobs. My dad, you know, divorced child at 2. If you want something, I had to get it myself. So, you know, from sports, I think sports is what gave me the best leadership growing up. I was in 4 soccer teams nonstop. You know, you had to keep pushing yourself. You had to teach girls. You had to take a leadership role there. I made sure I was number 10 in my class. Like, I really stayed focused that way. And I think that and then opening my first company at 26, my second company at 30. I had 2 companies prior to opening my own restaurant, my catering business. So
Wow.
I think because I was given nothing, like nothing was handed to me, it made me want to strive for more. I mean, that same kind of background, you know, it's just, I grew up with nothing, and it either can push you further or it can keep you where you are. And I didn't want to sit there and be complacent. And then, having the kid, I mean, becoming a mom, you want to make sure that, as females especially, you want to make sure that you're showing that girl that she can do anything. Like, she asked me the other day, Mom, I can be like a race car driver, right? Or I can be a dinosaur person. I can ride a monster truck. I'm like, yeah, you don't have to be a boy. She's like, okay, cool. I can do it. So, you know, it's just wanting to make her better. And I don't know.
Just have her dream.
Yeah.
Just having her be able to dream. I think dreams are it's something I talk about a lot. I think dreams are so important, and people don't dream enough, because you can dream as big as you want. You know,
exactly.
There's no limits. There's no limits in dreaming.
But people are also told they can't dream. And that's the hard thing, is that they're told you have to go to college or you have to do this. No, screw that. Dream big. You know, if you don't want to do something, don't do it, and be you. Like, even as a young girl, I mean, I was definitely different than most kids. I mean, I was that funky, you know, half in the alternate rock, half in the hippie, like shaved head, you know, wearing hemp, and people made fun of me, and I was like, whatever, I'm being my own person. So I think that's what also helped me, is that I didn't care what anybody else thought. So that's what, you know, kids these days, like, don't care, just follow your dreams, dream big, just go, you know, reach for the stars, get it, get it done.
Wow. That's so important. I think not caring about what other people think is like the number one unlock to executing after your dreams. Because we get tripped up. We start overthinking stuff. We're like, oh man, what if this person says this, or what about this? But you just got to go for it and just see what happens, you know, especially, you just have so much in life. So how does it feel to be on Hell's Kitchen?
Oh my God. I mean, we both did Chopped, right? That was nothing compared to Hell's Kitchen.
Nothing?
That was like, you know, walk in the park. I mean, when they came after me, I was like, what? Hell's Kitchen? I'm like, I don't know if my husband's going to allow that, nor am I ever going to make it. You know, I was like, there's no way this little person that has really no training at all is going to become in Hell's Kitchen. So, I mean, when they got picked, I literally cried. I was in my car, and she says, you're on. I'm like, and just tears start coming down my eyes. I'm like, I'm sitting at a traffic light crying, and some people are probably staring at me like, what's wrong with that girl? I mean, it's such a cool experience, right? I mean, once in a lifetime.
I feel like it's one of those moments in your life you're never gonna forget about, when you got that phone call, you know? Like, you got that phone call and you're like, oh man, you made it on the show, and it's just crazy experience. It's super surreal, and like to be standing with Gordon Ramsay and then all the other amazing contestants.
Everybody
on the show.
was so amazing. Well, not everybody. Okay, get rid of like 6 maybe.
Right. Everybody was interesting. Let's put it like that.
All right. Everybody was very interesting. But I mean, I couldn't imagine like the talent that was on this show, especially from you guys. I mean, I remember the first day at the first challenge, I'm like your dish. I was like, what is this? Like, where did you come up with this concept? Because yours was the most complex, most out of the box. And we're all like, oyster fat? What is that? Like, what are you making? Where did you get this idea? And all of us in the 40-year-olds were like, okay, we're in trouble. So it's for me, it's really cool to see this younger generation, because I never cooked, you know, like, on the line, it's totally different. Like, I'm in Greek restaurants, Italian restaurants, so I never got to see this imagination that you guys have and these envisions. And so that was, for me, that was probably the biggest takeaway, is to see all the respect that you guys have for food and the respect for knowledge that you guys constantly strive to learn more, you know. And I wish I was there at your age, you know. It's just a whole different level. Like, I was striving for what next fish show could I go see? Like on a Dutch show, and trying to make the best fashion because I was in the fashion industry, so I wasn't even thinking about this.
Wow.
So it's really cool to
I
learn from
think
you guys. Yeah.
I but I think your story makes like I think your story is even more cooler. Like to hear that. Like imagine I went through something crazy and I had this whole entire career and then I changed my entire career to like that
Yeah.
story is so incredible. So it's just that for me is inspiring. It's like anything is possible.
Thank you. I mean, I say honestly, it was the best thing in my life to have happened to me. Almost dying was the best thing in my life because it
Wow.
got
That's
me
powerful.
into a place where I was me. I was in a really bad abusive
Yeah.
relationship. Can you imagine me not being like this crazy outspoken person? So I said, God,
I can't picture it. I
literally,
can't see it.
no, like God almost had to they killed me to bring me to life again. And it
Right.
just was the best experience. Like, so I'm thankful for it. Like, for as much as
Wow.
hardship it brought, I mean, my brain is still not right, but I'm so thankful every single day. And I mean, I wouldn't have changed anything in my own
Yeah.
life. So I'm happy. Everything you do,
Yeah.
brings you on the path that you're going to be going on, right? So, like, every change in a course you
Yep.
change, it changes your path, but it's for the better, unless you don't let it
Yep.
change for the better. So I feel like we should be preachers.
Incredible. It's just inspiring. I just man, what would you I think what would you tell, I don't know, a young girl, someone that wants to be a chef, someone that's listening that maybe wants to be an entrepreneur, or someone that, maybe is in a career path and they feel like it's not for them and they want to make that leap of faith and they found out that they love cooking and they found out they love fashion or they like whatever and they want to make that change. What would you say to them?
Follow your dreams. Just don't ever live a day that you regret. Because I've lived every day of my life, good or bad, without any regrets. I regret nothing I've ever done. And I've done some really horrible things and I've done some amazing things. So if you want something, just go for it. Don't wake up 10 years later and say, I wish I could have done something about it. If you think you want to change, change. If you want to try a new career, try a new career. Nothing's going to hold you back. You can always go backwards. But going forwards is the biggest thing in the world. Like, you should never want to go backwards. You always want to keep striving forward. So that's what I always say to everybody is just dream big and just change life. It's okay to make a change. It's okay to say, I made a mistake. I went to school for fashion. It wasn't what I was supposed to, meant to do. It's okay to say you were wrong. It's okay to make changes. It's how people live and how people grow. So don't be
Wow.
complacent. Don't sit down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get off your butt.
Get off. Just go after it.
Go after it.
What would you say your biggest what would you say your biggest lesson from Hell's Kitchen is? Obviously we're on the 4th episode right now. It's going well. So make sure everyone tunes in every Thursday.
5th one coming
right?
up. It's a good one, right? The 5th one's a good one.
The 5th one's coming up. Yeah, it's gonna get better and better. But yeah, what would you say like your biggest lesson is from going through this experience?
Oh my God. The biggest lesson was that every time I thought I couldn't do it and I wasn't good enough, I said, stop doubting yourself and keep moving forward because you're never going to know if you're good enough if you stop trying. So that was my thing. I would sit in my room and my grandfather was a priest, right? He just died a couple of years ago. So I would sit in my room by myself and I would just pray to him and I would say, can I keep going forward? And like, I said, just stop doubting yourself. You made it this far because you're talented enough. Because I've always never thought I was good enough. I was like, I'm the farm to table. Like, I have no training. Look at these chefs. Like, I have no idea what they're doing with their flavors or food. But you know what? I'm still in it. So never doubt. Even if you doubt yourself, just say stop and just keep moving forward. And that was my biggest thing. Was to stop doubting myself and just to say I can do this.
So important.
It is.
So what is Tara up to now? Obviously, we don't know the results of the show, right? So we don't know who wins. If you win, I win, whoever.
No idea.
The show, no idea. They have to watch. They have to watch.
They have to watch people. I mean,
tune in. They have to tune in. They have to tune in. But what are you up to now? What's going on? Where do you live? What's going on? Are you working? Are you not
Oh
working?
my God, I'm
What's going on with you?
grinding so hard right now. You know, I wear what, 7 hats? I'm a chef, an owner, a mother, a wife, a cleaner. Like, I
Woo!
wrote this blog
Wow.
during the pandemic while we were there about like all the hats I wear. So I'm grinding. You know, I literally work Monday through Sunday. I mean, I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning with my kid. Mondays are meal deliveries. I cook for between 4 and 5 families and I deliver them food for the week.
Wow.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have two ladies that are amazing, and I go to their house and cook for them. Wednesdays, I
Wow.
usually teach. And then Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, I'm doing catering. So I'm doing parties of 2 to 100 and something. And I'm booked
What?
solid. I mean, it's just trying to grow the farm, trying to get, I'm actually trying to get my, my, my actual house zoned for a retail space. Because we have this carriage
Okay.
house that I would love to convert because we have a huge garden and I would love to like have that as my
What?
space. Yeah, Hudson Valley. I mean, that's all it is farm to table. So just really
Wow.
trying to get my little area in New York as a bigger area.
Yeah.
So little
It's
Congress, New
such a
York.
beautiful place.
Yeah,
It's
I
such a
love
beautiful
Hudson
place
Valley.
there.
I mean, I'm on the Hudson River. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. There's so much art. There's so much
Wow.
eclectic people, amazing food. I mean, people are like, oh, you're not the
Yeah.
city. There's so much good food out here. So, I mean, I love the city, but people don't realize that Hudson Valley, there's so many talented chefs and talented artists out here. So it's a really cool place to
Are
live
you
and raise your family.
are you familiar with foie gras? Obviously you are. I'm saying like the farm, is it like close to you? Is it the Hudson
No,
Valley foie gras farm?
it's
Okay.
it's like, it wasn't far, but it's like north. It's
Okay.
across the bridge. Yeah. It's not too far. I mean,
Okay.
I could definitely get there.
Okay.
Do you know what town it is in? It's in
Yeah, we
Westchester.
definitely I think so. It's in Westchester. We definitely have to do something up there. My friend is the chef for Hudson Valley with Michael, and he wanted me to come and check out the farm. I want to check out what you're doing up there. We
Really?
definitely
Yeah,
gotta.
that's like not too far at all. Because I mean, I have Dan Barber only 30 minutes from me.
Incredible. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk offline, but yeah, I definitely gotta come see the
Oh,
farm. I
you
just
have
love
to.
farms.
You
I
gotta
love
come check
farms.
out the
That's what I
barbs.
grew up
Like,
on.
there's so much good meats here. Like, oh my God, there's so many like purveyors of meat, and like it's so amazing. I love it. Like, you literally, I can go to Warwick and just be like, can I buy your cows? Can you raise these for me? Like, give me all your. It's really nice. Like, I really thoroughly enjoy where I live. I have to say. I mean, I love the
and
city. I
for
miss the city, but
and for me, like that, some people go vegan, right? Which is nothing wrong with that.
hey,
But
I've
for
worked
me, I
on a
think
vegan
it's
cooking show.
oh wow, there you go. But I think it's more about where is your food coming from.
Exactly. And
I
with
think
vegan
that's where it
food,
needs to start.
I mean, vegan food, yes, there's vegetables, but you have to supplement all your meat. So people are taking so many pills. And I'm like, I had these vegan neighbors and they're literally taking 7 pills a day. I'm like, well, you can get that from legumes, you can get that from this. Oh, yeah, yeah, we just take the
Correct.
pills. I'm like, well, then you're just putting in processed
It's
crap
not
in
the
your
same.
body. Like, why are you
Yeah,
vegan then? There's no point.
exactly.
So
It's not the same.
it's
People
not the
people
same.
eat vegan. People eat vegan. Fast food, and they think it's just about I
Yeah.
don't know, just changing the mindset. I think, and just taking the daily steps too to make that change. It's not going to happen overnight. If you want to say, hey, I want to eat beef that's grass fed, or if I want to just cut meat out completely, or maybe I just want to stop dairy for a little bit. Whatever it is, it just takes time.
There's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Yeah, my aunt actually used to be completely vegetarian, no meat, no nothing. And the doctor, she was a dancer, and the doctor said, "You're not doing your body good. Like you're not doing it the right way." So now she has to eat red meat, and she has to eat fish, and because she didn't do it the right way for so long, she was malnourishing her body of all the nutrients she was supposed to get.
Wow,
Yeah,
it's crazy, crazy, crazy.
it's
So
crazy.
how can people support you? I know you mentioned a little bit about obviously um, you want to help kids and you want to teach them about healthy eating and whole foods and things like that. Like, what are some of the steps that you're making right now? And what is your goal, I guess, envision and things like that?
My goal is to not have a restaurant. I want to raise my kid. Like that's the whole part of why I left the restaurant. But I want to have a space where I can teach out of. I can do pop-ups out of. I want a 20-person table. I forget what, there was this restaurant out in California. I forget what it was, but it was a 20-person long, the wood long tables, and you'd sell tickets for a 7-course dinner, this theme. But in Italy, every day is actually a celebration, which I never knew about until I talked to this lady. So every single day in those little villages in Italy, there's a special food being made every single day. So like, I would love to actually put that into my takeaway food. Like, I want to sell food kind of out of the place, Monday through Thursday, pick up food, and then I can teach and I can have pop-ups there. Kind of what I'm doing now, just having a space to do it in so I'm not in my house all the time. I like to leave my house every once in a while. But yeah, I would like a space that I could teach, and have people come in and do these pop-up dinners, have other chefs come in and do these cool events, but have this huge garden where the people can walk around and sit outside and have the wine and, have local wineries work with me. Because I used to bring wineries up from New Mexico, actually, to do events with me back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah, so,
back in the day.
Back in the day, beginning of cooking, 2010.
I think that
sounds like my vision is just doing what I'm doing, just at a larger scale, but keeping like the Hudson Valley farm to table aspect of it. Because I think for me, I've always grown my own food, and I mean, I would love to have chickens and goats, and eventually, and I could raise them perfectly, and then have them slaughtered, and we're eating them, and just doing everything humanely. So, and my husband's in horticulture, so he grows everything, so it's kind of like a perfect match.
Incredible. Wow.
But you, what do you, I mean, your visions are crazy. You have so much going on right now. It's insane.
Cool. Me, I hear that a lot.
It's not dipped in right now. Like, what are you not dipping in?
I mean, I'm trying everything. I'm just, I'm right now, I'm like laser focused on just trying to create opportunities, build relationships with people, learn more about business. I think obviously healthy eating is very important to me, which is something I'm very focused on. But just trying, like right now, we're raising money to open up our restaurant. We're trying to open up next year in Brooklyn, and a portion of the proceeds actually go back to the National Black Food Justice and to Black farmers, to support Black farmers and things like that. And then just trying to get healthy, whole foods into our community, because we don't have access to that type of stuff. We're not educated on it. We're not knowledgeable on it. We go for what's easy, right? The McDonald's, the Popeyes around the corner, the Kennedy Fried Chicken, which is delicious, which is great. But like, after you eat these things, you don't feel great, all the time.
You don't. You feel nasty. You're like, ugh, and you're lethargic. You want to go to sleep. You have no energy. You're dragging. But I love that what I love so much about you is that you are really, you're embracing the brown community, and you're really, really, really wanting to make it such a better for experience for everybody that's living in it and that's growing up. Because unfortunately, people are born, they're born into this community and they have no choice. So they just are going after what their parents are doing. And I love that you're really taking what you do and honing in on this community, because it means so much to you, because it's your heritage, it's your culture.
It's everything. For me, I tell the story about how I got introduced to fine dining. I was blessed to go to college. My grandparents were like super duper strict, and they're just like, you have to go to college. Cooking was the only thing I was good at. And anyway,
you're good at other things.
No, I was terrible at everything else. Couldn't throw a baseball, basketball. Like, everybody thought because I was black, I was supposed to be able to.
Yeah, aren't you a sports superstar? You're like, no.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm really bad, but I love it. I was terrible. But anyway, I joined the club, and they basically paid for me to go to a meal, for a fine dining meal in New York City.
That's right. I remember the story.
And it was incredible, because I never knew what fine dining was or any of that type of stuff. They're crumbing your table, they're pulling out your seat, like taking your jacket. And it just changed my life forever. And it made me go down this rabbit hole. And it's not about fancy and not fancy. It's just about an experience. And it's just about knowing that you deserve, the best, or knowing that you deserve good things. If we like nice things like clothing or jewelry, why don't, our culture like nice things such as delicious food that, is coming from, whether it's a black farmer coming from Whole Foods or locally sourced or prepared by a chef and delicious. I don't know. It's just something I'm really passionate about. So that's the journey I'm on. It's a never ending journey.
It never
But
will
for
end.
me, what excites me is being able to talk to incredible people like you and just hopefully give you, a platform to showcase and share what's important to you and what you're trying to accomplish and stuff like that. So, has anything happened since the airing of Hell's Kitchen for you?
Um, I'm working on some opportunities. We're still like, there's a couple wineries that want to do some stuff with me and some other like local bourbon. I'm trying to keep everything local. Like, I'm not trying to go after big names. I mean, Hexpad obviously is trying to work with all of us, which is amazing because they're so amazing. So you have them behind you right now.
We love
But I'm really
Hexpad.
trying to keep
I love
everything. Yeah, Hexpad. Really trying to keep everything like local because I want to be that local Hudson Valley chef. I want to be utilizing, that farm raises my cows. That farm raises my chickens. This is where I'm getting my vegetables. This is where I'm getting my local wines from. I'm getting my local beers that I use, the bourbons. Like, there's so many distilleries around here. So that's what we're working on right now. It's a big project to try to get your local stuff because they want to make sure that you're the local chef that they want to work with. Not just any company I can be like, oh, I'm wearing these today and, get it. That's kind of sponsorship. So I'm really trying to keep it localized because that's how I was raised, in a local farm. So we're doing that, but I'm also, trying, like I said, I have so many people wanting my carriage house to be transformed. So I'm really trying to work on that, getting the town okay that. So I'm trying to get as many people from the town that I know to say, hey, let her do this. It's better for our town to have it here, So it's just, and I mean, I don't really have time, I'm up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning with the kid and go to, as soon as I get home at 2 a.m. from work. So it's,
You're a
trying to
superhero.
find hours in the day to get things done.
Well, just know that you have a supporter and a fan in me.
Well, I am always your fan.
And man, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule and moving your clients around and to take the time to chat and share
Anything
your
for you,
story a little
Sakari,
bit.
anything.
Anything for you, Tara. So I guess the last question, well, one, where can people find you? Where can people support you? Instagram, social media, website, something.
Yeah, Instagram is Chef Tara Ciannella. You see my name right there. Just put chef in front of it. My website is www.tarasitaliancucina.com. Facebook is my name. I have a Twitter, which is my name, and we're launching a YouTube channel really soon. That's what we're working on that too. I know. I'm trying. I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to learn about NFTs through you. I'm trying to get minted. Like,
yes,
trying to do what you're teaching me to do. Like, get out there, get my name. So yeah, I got a lady working on this YouTube channel, so that's gonna hopefully go live. I'm gonna do some teaching on there. I'm trying to get a magazine kind of written because like I said, I've done so much, right? I mean, I've had a landscape design company. I did graphic design. I did fashion design. I made home goods. I'm a chef. I've traveled the world. I lived in London, lived in New York, lived in Philly. Like, I've also been to over 400 shows.
Wow.
I used to sell grilled cheeses. I mean, it's just,
wow.
I've done so much. So everyone's like, you need to write a magazine. So instead of a cookbook, we're trying to kind of work on that, like about all my 7 million hats that I wear.
Well, you got your first subscriber. You got your first subscriber here, and your first purchase of your magazine for sure.
I'll send you a magazine signed copy to my love.
Ooh, I love it.
Tell my husband.
I'll keep it framed in my office in my room.
I'll put a kiss on it. Mwah.
There we go. We love it. Love to hear it. So my last question for you as we wrap up here with closing remarks is, for me, the brand is about noble promise. What that means is a promising future, keeping to your word, and just living with honor from a day to day.
I love that.
I think that's something that you do, whether it's with, your family or whether it's with teaching other people in the community or just, how do you, my closing remark would be, how do you live with honor from a day to day, and what does it mean to you,
I think living with honor is being true to who you are at all times. Don't apologize for who you are and what you want in life. Never apologize for going to get something and for you being confident in yourself. I remember growing up, people used to be like, oh, you're so like cocky. I'm like, it's not cocky. It's called confidence. And like, I know who I am. I'm honoring thyself. As you know, kind of in the Bible, like honor thyself before they honor thy mother or their father. So I think that's what it is. It's just being true and actually listening to yourself. So if you know you're making a mistake, stop it and change your direction. Like, don't just say, oh, whatever, like I'll change it tomorrow. Like, really listen to who you are and who you want to be and keep being that person. And that's how I hope I live my life and how I portray myself. That's why I'm hoping I portray myself. You know, a non-egotistical, just someone that works hard and wants to be the best they can be.
No, you do. And I'm just hoping that, you know, people listening and people watching, like they see that and they get some type of gem, some type of value from, you know, your story and all your inspiration, your superwoman
They called me Wonder Woman on Chopped.
You are. It's incredible. It's incredible.
I even do the pose and everything. Yeah.
I'm honored to be sitting here with you. So I just want to say thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. Here. I feel honored that you asked me to be on this. So I'm so stoked. This means so much to me.
It's awesome. You're the first House Kitchen contestant, which is incredible. So clap it up.
Number one and female and blue eyes, just like Gordon. So, you know.
Let's go. Let's go. So thank you so much. This has been Sipping with Sakari. We appreciate y'all. Love.
Happy birthday.
Hey. Cheers.
Sipping with Sakari.